Hello Pisces, and welcome to Sincere Tarot, where you get the raw, honest truth. This is your mid-May tarot forecast, and your theme for mid-May is the Princess of Pentacles. So a thirst for knowledge, being grounded, practical. Maybe you've had some big ideas, but you're actually beginning to move forward in a very practical, reasoned, and sound way. So let's see what else is in store for you this month. So I've shuffled my decks off camera, but interesting. I am showing you that I'm cutting the deck, and I'm trying this new, very interesting spread that I really like. It's called a Kachina knife. So I'm just laying out the first layer, and then I'm going to pull a few clarifying cards, then some advice cards. Make sure you stick around until the end where you pick your own destiny cards. But yeah, please do let me know if you like this reading, or this spread, I mean, because I might continue to use it for my mid-month, or maybe my mid and my main monthly ones, okay? But that's all up to you. All right, so, okay, yeah. Oh yeah, and my question is, what does Pisces need to know for mid-May about a particular person, situation, or event? This might have something to do with work, or just something that is some sort of goal. Okay. All right. So what we have in the background leading into this situation is we have got the Seven of Pentacles. So, this is someone who's put in a lot of, time, effort, energy, and is very skilled and it could be something very creative as well. And it could literally be a garden, but it often is something to do with, work or making money, or something else that's physical, or something that you need for physical survival. Could be literal actual growth if you've been trying to do, exercise and building muscle and things like that. But, in the recent past, you've seen a lot of progress, and it's like right now you are being presented as the moon. And so this could be one of two things, because the moon represents you in your true essence. And to me, Pisces, very, very emotional, with the most depth of all of the water signs and all of the signs as well. Because you know how it goes from Aries all the way to Pisces? That allows in the zodiac, Pisces ends up getting a little bit of everything because of that, because you're at the very end, which makes you super intuitive, and you're able to really understand people in a deep emotional level, right? So I think that might be why you're coming up as the moon, but it is a bit negatively aspected, kind of. So this could also mean that maybe you're being a little bit deceitful or tricky, and it could even be with yourself. But I feel like you might actually be not really showing your true self to a situation that you are kind of stuck in, right? So I feel like there's something, so your situation, right, that you need to be aware of is the Seven of Wands, right? So I feel like the Seven of Wands, I think you might be being approached by someone or by an institution, and it has something to do with they need to move forward with something. It's like the next step of a process needs to happen, and I feel like you might actually be avoiding it, and it's not really going anywhere. You might be intentionally or unintentionally avoiding it, or it might just be stuck, because what's in between you is the Hanged Man. So maybe it's something that you were maybe not being completely honest about, and it needs to move forward, but what's stuck in between you, it might be the actual quarantine, which is, could be the Hanged Man, right? But it's like something, regardless of whether it is or not, something's not going anywhere, and it's just this feeling of nothing's happening. And yeah, I think that it's bringing awareness to a certain degree to both of you, but more to this person or institution that's needing to move forward with something, and it could be something to do with work. Regardless, I think it's just going to go nowhere for too long, because what we have as the final result is the Death card. So I feel like there's going to be some sort of an ending, something that used to be fruitful, and maybe you have been wanting to move forward with, you're trying to move forward with, you're trying to manifest it into an actual reality. But I think that whatever it is, it's going to come to an end, and it's inevitable, because this is a higher arcana, and yeah, it's just, and it may have been a long time coming, which is something that you might realize more upon reflection. And it's not going to be fun. Like, I think so, because the final result is about this situation that was hopefully going to move forward. An opportunity, potentially an opportunity, is being aspected by the Ten of Swords. So I feel like it's going to cause the fact that this is coming to an end, that it's not going forward, at least definitely not the way that you wanted. It's going to be really painful. It's going to cause stress. And it's kind of like, it's over. It's like the final nail in the coffin. Yeah, so it's stressful. It's good, but it's going to be a little bit more in your head than anything. But what you won't realize is that, this ending is actually creating a better opportunity, but you won't realize it at the time, because it's like you seem to just be so determined, wanting to move forward with this particular thing to do with work or making money or finances, maybe where you live, could be furthering your education, something like that. And the Death card is also being aspected on your side with the Two of Wands. So I feel like, you're going to have to start planning again, right? You're realizing, okay, this is over. I think when you realize it's over, it's going to, you're going to have to just like collect everything and start planning again. I'm like, okay, what am I going to do now? Or you could maybe be moving forward with it, but like in a different way that you weren't originally planning. So you're just going to have to, like, it's not going to happen the way that you thought it was going to happen at all. And like, I'm sorry, there's no changing that with this Death card. Like, it's like, you cannot change that, in my opinion. If it was like a minor arcana outcome, then it's like, yeah, that's way more flexible. But with a major arcana, it's like, nah, it's actually in the works probably a lot longer than you realized. So you're going to have to like regroup, reassess. And to be honest, you'll probably look at the situation a little bit more clearly, because maybe you were ignoring it for a while. Like, maybe you used to in the past put a lot more energy and effort, but like just kind of recently been kind of ignoring it, maybe avoiding it, maybe not like being clear about certain things. Yeah, but now it's like, okay, now you're really having to look at things clearly, retrospectively, and just start planning again about where you're going to go next. Okay, so let's get some advice cards about this particular situation, and then you pick your destiny cards for some extra advice. Okay. All right, loads of wands, very spiritual energy. All right, so we have got, look at this. We've got the Seven of Wands again. So and in this deck, it definitely means more like standing your ground, right? Keeping the higher ground. So you need to actually, look, you're coming up as the moon, and I know that that's your sign, but I feel like, because it's not the best aspected, like I feel like you're not necessarily, like, you need to keep the higher ground, stay true to yourself, maintain your integrity. That's what you have to do. And the second advice card, we've got the Six of Wands. For any other opportunities that come your way, like, absolutely go for it, because you will be successful, but things are going to have to be readjusted. Third advice card. We've got the Four of Swords, so you really do need to focus on healing from this that has caused you stress. If there's a little bit of information or something that you could say or do, or a message you could send, hold on to it. You might want to use that for later, but definitely not now. You really just need to keep to yourself, heal, rest, relax. If you have been physically ill, you still need to really heal, relax, nourish yourself, okay? And fourth advice card, we've got the King of Wands, and sometimes this can be like a little bit media oriented. So if part of speaking your truth and maintaining your integrity is, making people aware about this on social media, I'm not saying going on social media to have a big spat or whatever, but like, if this is something that you think that you need to kind of post about and make people aware, and it's for a good reason, because you want people to know the truth, okay, and that it will help them, then yeah, do that. But yeah, you definitely need to just, and act on, just definitely maintain your integrity and be connected with spirit and creative energy. And, you can do this. It's just, I think it's going to be a little bit of a learning experience for you. All right. So pick a number, 1, 2, or 3. You are going to be picking your own destiny cards. If this has resonated with you so far, please comment below. I'm very curious about what you think. If you like this Kachina knife spread, because it's a bit more focused on one thing in particular rather than a whole bunch of everything, please let me know. And yeah, like what is going on? What is it that you think is coming to an end? And yeah, what is this situation that you're kind of like stuck in? Please let me know. I love reading your comments, only the nice ones. All right, so now you want to pick a number, 1, 2, or 3. Always go with the first number that really sticks out to you. That's your intuition. Never second guess yourself, because that is your ego, and we are using our intuition, not our ego, in the situation. All right, if you picked 1, let's see what we've got. Wow. Okay, if you picked 1, you really need to watch out for someone who's got super intense energy. So we've got the devil on the surface. By the way, this could be a Capricorn influence, but it's just like, yeah. Anyways, so beneath the surface, we've got the Prince of Wands, and then your advice is the Empress. So your situation might be more specifically where you're going to have to maintain your integrity is with more likely a person, but it could be a situation that's really, really negative, really toxic, really unhealthy. Sometimes it can have to do with drugs. This person might be pushing drugs, alcohol. The thing is, but also maybe trying to force you into a situation that is not a good, it's really unhealthy situation. Yeah, trying to trap you in your mind. Because beneath the surface, we've got the Prince of Wands, right? So the Prince of Wands is like super intense. It can be really forward-moving energy in this deck. And they're the type of person that acts without thinking, and they're really just thinking about themselves, and they say things and do things without thinking of the consequences. And then by the time there's some sort of negative consequence, they're not even like reflecting, like zero reflection, and just moving on to the next thing. And it's like boom, 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 like in super intense energy. No wonder you're trying to avoid it with that moon. Anyways, yeah, so just like you're gonna have to watch out for like this particular person or situation that's super bad, and you'll know it because it's like super intense. You cannot not notice this, all right? Your advice is the Empress. So the Empress, I think like you just need to focus on taking care of yourself, putting yourself first, self-love, self-care, taking a break, making sure you're getting enough food, going out for exercise, connecting with nature, you know, maybe even getting advice from your mom if you think that's a good idea, right? Because this is like very maternal energy, genuinely cares about people. So you really need to kind of put yourself first, self-love, yeah. And just like remember that you are a queen, right? So it's not like people can't just treat you however you want, right? You need to also make sure that you need to let people know what is an appropriate way of treating you, and you need to say that in a way that has integrity and strength, super solid, healthy boundaries. If you pick 2. All right, if you pick 2, this situation might have something to do with family, security, work, home, land, property, investments, things like that, right? Because this is a family card, but it's also security, and you know, things that can give security to family are things like a job and an income. I think that you feel, we've got 7 of discs below the surface, so I think for some reason you feel like a failure in a sense, where in the past that wasn't necessarily the case. I feel like maybe you think that you can't provide for your family, or you don't have enough money or a good enough job or a good enough house or whatever for your family, or maybe it's your physical body. If you're wanting to conceive, I don't necessarily see it being like that, but something that you've really wanted to manifest into reality. It's just like not working out the way that you wanted it to. And your advice is actually the 9 of Wands. So the 9 of Wands is saying, you know, you need to be prepared, have all of your ducks in a row, because there's one more big battle coming, and you have what it takes to be able to complete this and to be able to win while maintaining your integrity and staying true to yourself. But you need to be ready. Spirit saying, get ready for what's coming. You can do this, you can handle it, but it's not over. One more big battle. If you picked 3, wow, this is crazy. All right, if you picked 3, on the surface, we've got the 8 of Swords, beneath the surface, Fortune, and your advice is the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so look, If you picked 3, I feel like you are going to be kind of stressed out, stuck in your mind, not looking at all of the different perspectives. That's surface though, because beneath the surface we've got fortune. There has been some massive change that has come and you were not expecting it at all. And I think maybe that might be the reason why you're like, kind of as your mind, your ego is doing this self-defense mechanism where it's just like clamping down and like, no, and just getting stuck in the same perspective, because that's what makes you feel safe, because this has just thrown you for a loop. But just know that that you do have that this has created an opportunity, right? So you may not see it, you won't see it, okay? You'd rather be like, that's not true. I'm stuck, right? But look, you can untie your hands from this perspective. There are multiple other perspectives and people you can talk to as well, right? Like, and they're, that are there that you don't see them because you're not even listening. You're just like, this is the only way. And you're feeling really tense and angry and whatever. And you might be trying to hide it on the surface and you've got your walls up, but it's like, you're tense, you're angry, and it's away from, because something super unexpected happened. It could also have been internally, but I feel like you didn't expect this end. You didn't expect to be hanging around for this end. You didn't expect it at all. But yeah, your advice is the Ace of Pentacles. So you do have a new opportunity. You have a new way of making money. You have a new or you have a new job or a new place you can live, like, or, there's just so many, you've got pure potential, right? And if this has something to do with fertility, like if there's a pregnancy and that's kind of what the concern is, like the birth seems to be like it will be all right, okay? Looks like it's fine. Like Ace of Pentacles is also a successful birth, right? Okay, so if you would like a private reading, send me an email or check out my website. That's all in the description below. Let me know what you think of the Kachina knife. If you would like to write nice things about how this reading resonated with you, please do so. Definitely make sure you're subscribed because I do monthly and mid-monthly readings. And if you're still here, you get a secret bonus card. Oh my God. All right. Secret bonus card, 9 of Swords. Yeah, okay, someone was mean to you. Someone was cruel. What they did was wrong. But you can't just stick around and be the victim, right? Because you're continuing to hurt yourself when you replay the situation in your mind, when you're continuing to stress yourself out, right? They win a million times more the more that you go over this in your mind and feel that same pain, okay? And this also might be a pattern you want to reflect on, okay? So just make sure you do have to at some point pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and move on. You don't have to be a victim, right? Maybe you were victimized at one point, but it's your choice if you decide to stay in that situation and think those negative thoughts about yourself. Then they win. Don't let them win. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, move on. You can do it. Trust me, you can do it 100%. Have a good month as much as possible. Bye.